25 past 7 in the morning. I did just wake up literally 10 minutes ago. And Hannah's in the bathroom, so I thought, what a better time to start filming. So yeah, we need to leave at 7:45, and our bus is at like 5 to 8. Which gets us to the train station for our train 1 out of 3. I've got 3 changes today. So we made it to the bus, to the train station. The bus wasn't too bad. And we got a seat, so that's nice. But I'm really tired. Hannah got her postcards. I didn't get a keyring because they weren't very nice and they were €5. And I thought, not bothering. So yeah, we're just sat waiting for the train now. It's currently 10 to 9. I don't think our train's till like 10. So we've made it onto train number 2 of 3 of the day. This one's 3 hours long, so a long one. Not eating yet, literally starving. We had like 15 minutes to change trains in Milan, and it's huge. I was literally barging so many people out of the way. I felt so bad, but they were just in my way, and I thought I need to get some lunch. And Hannah was like gone, like she was way ahead of me, and I was like, oh my god, I just need to go. So yeah, but we made it. We sat down in our seats on the table opposite each other, so we're gonna have people next to us. But just so excited to eat. I've been to the toilet now. Put my headphones in. I've downloaded anything to watch, so I'm gonna watch that.
Regionale 12 041.
Train number 3. Last one is an hour to Nice. Literally so tired. Me and Hannah both on the train. Almost be gone. Yeah. We passed all like the beaches along the way. Like, super nice. So nice, I cannot wait to get there now. But yeah, the train's not very nice. It's only for an hour. So we just checked in to Slow Nice. It's nice. We're in a 4-bed. So yeah, and it's downstairs, so it might be a little bit noisy, but hey ho. And then the bathroom's like separate, but it's really nice. So yeah, we literally just dumped our bags, go to the toilet, and then we're gonna go and find a Lidl, get a food shop, and find the kitchen, just to make sure that there isn't any like stove or anything. If there's not, then we'll know to get microwave meals from Lidl when we go. This is all of ours. Takes up quite a bit of the fridge, but hey ho. And it was €50, which isn't bad considering that's got us breakfast, lunch and dinner for the next 2-3 days. So yeah, Hannah's just having a snack now, and then we're gonna head out for a little explore, because why not? Yeah, this is defo, I think, where we meet it, yeah. We've decided we're going to do a walking tour tomorrow, where you just have to tip at the end. And this is where we probably have to meet. We're walking down to the beach front. Yeah. They're in sea. And that bit down there is free too. So we could easily perch up again. Over there is the airport. which I absolutely love, because if we do, or when we do, rent beds on the beach, I'll just be watching all day, planes taking off and landing, because I'm a nerd like that. Quick, get it off, it's itching.
It's itching.
Don't smear it, just like scoop it, I suppose.
Did you find it?
Smells good though. I'm currently just stood in bed, but that's it for the evening tonight. We're gonna go on a walking tour tomorrow, so you'll see that next. But this is the room. It's quite nice because it's got curtains and a big light and a storage unit and a mirror. And then our bathroom's in a different place outside. And Hannah was just about to go for a shower, but now he's just gone. Are you sure he's gone for a shower, or could it be a toilet? Oh, damn it. Good morning. For day 1 in Nice. We've got a walking tour booked for 10:55, so that's what we're getting ready for. But we just had breakfast and we had a faff with like the payments. So I've actually been charged twice for this hostel. So I had to go and ask him about that this morning, just basically saying like, can you refund me? I was like, yeah, I can, but I just need my manager, whatever, fine. Anyway, so then I'm like saying to Hannah that I just need to clean my teeth, put my sun cream on, and then go. And she's like, you take so long, oh my god, you take so long. Again, she's complaining about me taking ages, which I'm not. And then she keeps going like, when we go to Disney, you need to get up at like half an hour extra than everyone else because you're taking so long. I'm literally not, but you know, whatever. So yeah, but yeah, that's what we're doing today, and then going beach later. Outfit of the day today, we've both gone for our Hollister play suit dresses. So yeah, mine's this one, matching clip in my hair, and then Hannah's got the hair wrap on. So yeah, finally making the use of some of those dresses. Yeah! So there's already quite a few people at the beach this morning. Someone doing that parachute thing, which is so cool. And yeah, we're a bit early for our tour, so we thought we'd come down and have a look at the beach to see like what sort of time we'd need to get there tomorrow. Yeah. Exciting!
Well, that's pretty much the town. And then there's a couple of things from here and there.
Trams here make the exact same noise that they do in Melbourne, and it's given me like throwbacks to my days in Australia. It's actually crazy.
This is the first sentence in the Holter, the fifth largest city in France. Hosts Paris, Marseille, Lyon, Toulouse, and Nice. Nice has a population of 346,000 inhabitants, and it's the center of the business in this region of the Alpes Maritime. Also, the second most visited city in the whole country. The first one is Paris. Paris, fun fact, is the most visited city in the whole world. Then first Paris, then Barcelona, then New York. And the Greeks were already in Marseille in the year 600 before Christ, and they were fighting the Ligure. They fought there in Nice. They got the territory here in the year 300 before Christ. And when they established here, because they won this battle, they decided to call Nice Nicaea because of the goddess of victory Nike. Alright?
So I don't know if you've heard any of that, to be honest, but she said that Nice is the 5th largest city in France and the 2nd most visited after Paris. Do you remember who that square was named after? Can't remember. I'll try and Google it. The name there. But basically, Italy used to own Nice, and then the Austrians were fighting to try and take it, and they just said to France, listen, if you help us fight them away, we'll give you Nice, because they always wanted it. And then they won, and then Italy gave Nice to France. But then the Italians who lived in Nice weren't happy about it, because they were obviously like changing it to French and stuff. So like 25% of them left, and like went to another place in Italy. Then the other people that stayed changed their like surnames to make them more French. Oh, it's weird. It's cool.
They are like the intermediate between us. We are in the square Georges Pompidou. Georges Pompidou, for those who like this little fact, he was president of France in the 70s, right? Here we are going to talk about two things. First of all, this sculpture I have behind me, also like Apollo, so controversial. It's called 9 oblique lines, and they are let's spend 2 million euro. They actually built it, and the day of the inauguration, people went crazy. They started burning things. They said, we don't blah blah blah, because actually there is a sentence that says, if there is no revolution, there is no evolution. And in some countries we kind of miss that, not like really harsh revolution, but you know, protest. So they do it really well, and actually they end up paying 690,000 euro, less than half of the price, which was good. But then 2012, 2 years later, the tourism started growing exponentially. Say we need to build parkings here, there is no enough place to park, hotels. They decided to build the parking we have underneath us. Has 5 floors. Actually, this is the cheapest for whoever is coming by car. And when they built this, they needed to move the sculpture because it's 140 tons of steel. So they moved it around until the parking was finalized, and they spent 1.1 million on that. So she's explained a few things about this, and she basically just said that in the 1700s there became like a tourist like a tax on having your windows open, which is so weird. So like instead of paying them, people just shut their windows. But people in France were like, but that doesn't look nice, so they shut their windows but painted them as if to look that they're open. So now there's like loads of buildings that haven't actually got windows, they're all painted fake to look like windows. It's quite cool. By one family, and the guy, well, the family was called Macarani, and he was told the Mediterranean air was really good for the health, so many people moved to here from Great Britain, from Germany, from Russia. They were living all here. This family said, let's build this theater, first the theater, to join all these classes because we don't know each other. So in 1776 they built a theater in wood. It works really well, but only for the aristocrats. 1826, 50 years later, it takes part already of the town of Nice. So it's not private but public. So during these years, 5-6 years, they remodeled the whole thing, turned it into an opera, and in 1881, because they didn't change so many parts that were made in wood, there was a fire in the middle of the show. There were 200 people inside the building, and 60 of them passed away. The whole building fell to the floor, but the front part was changed with better materials, still remain. That's why when we finish the stuff, you can take a look. It still said Teatro Municipal. That is the same plaque that had when it was theater is the Spanish word, theater of opera, okay?
So the building here is the Opera of Nice. Grand Opera of Nice, and it was built in 1776. And then 50 years later, in 1826, it was open to the public rather than just all like the posh famous people. 5 years later, it then burned down to the ground, killing 60 people, which is a shame. There was 200 people in there at the time, so yeah. So then they had to like rebuild it all from making, because it was wood originally and there was a gas leak, so that's why the fire was created. But yeah, they had to rebuild it, and then it is what it is today, which is crazy. So we're currently walking through a little market, and there's literally everything and anything here. Through all like the pastries, flowers, ceramics, everything. Sorry, it's alright.
They say that Saleya in Nizar, that the original language of Nice was the sun street, but also say that with the play of words they said Saleya because before in this market they commercialize with salt. They do like instead of paying with money they used to pay with salt. So you will find a lot of lavender because of the lavender fields around, and of olive oil. This is because Nice is not too humid to be just next to the sea. It's normally either the first or the second city more sunny, the sunniest of the whole country. It's either Nice or Menton. That means almost never rains either. Menton next to Italy.
Isn't it, Han? Wow. I just bought myself a little souvenir. I can't even see it. I'm holding this at such a weird angle. It's like a cute little bowl, lavender bowl.
She was like, oh, it's not touristy.
Yeah, it's so touristy. I think she just meant tourist prices, but some of them are driving them up now because it's becoming more touristy. The little bowl that I got looked like those lavender ones, just a little bit smaller. €4, I think well spent. I've just got to get it home and not break it now. That's me.
In Palace de Justice Palace, was celebrated the trial for the biggest robbery of the whole country. It's called the biggest robbery of the century. That happened in 1976, not so long ago. And he decided why not robbing the rich people and being the Robin Hood of the town. For the mission, he hired 20 people. People come then gangsters, people come then just normal thieves. He got the 20 people in the team, and he had 3 rules for the robbery. They couldn't drink coffee, they couldn't drink alcohol, and they needed to sleep 8 hours per night during the mission. The story says they were 5 days inside the bank. This robbery day was the national day, 14th of July of the 76, and it was, let's say, Wednesday, to prove the story right, because if it says 5 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, the bank was gonna be closed. They entered through the river Paijon, little boats, these plastic ones. They entered through there, they arrived to the bank, stole 48 million francs, that the change is like 7 million euro, and they left a picnic there. They were sleeping during the mission, 5 days in there, they had alcohol, the coffee, everything they couldn't have before, and they left the picnic mat. When they left a sentence that said, without violence, without hate, and without arms. They left the picnic mat and they escaped. They emigrated, some of them, but the leader did, to Argentina, paradise of many, you know, in the 20th century too. And when he was there, one of the wives of the guys that belonged to the mission found his husband with another woman. That was October same year. And she said, I'm gonna tell everything to the police. She told everything, and the guys needed to go to court. But he came voluntarily from Argentina. He said everything was mea culpa. So when he came here, he said, but the rest of the team needs to leave with no charges, just me. The people know it is so controversial, so they said, okay, the citizens are gonna think we have a good system here, and at least we catch him, that is the leader. He had the trial here, just with the judge. One of his reasons to have the trial, it was no police, just the judge and him. We will see exactly where later when we pass, but at some point, this trial, by the way, it was March 77. It's a bit later, all the time that it took from October. And in the middle of the trial, he said, can I open the window? I'm really warm. You know what happened?
Jump.
Right. He jumped, he broke a leg, jumped up here like on top of a car, broke a leg, ran a little bit, landing, someone picked him in the bike, and he was never seen alive since.
Smell of curry as well. Give it to me.
So we've just finished our tour, walking tour. It was really nice, she was really good, she was friendly, she was informative, she took us around all the like little spots, which is really nice. And obviously it's a free walking tour, you just have to tip at the end. So we gave her €20, 10 each. Worth every penny really. So now we're going to walk back through the old town, head back to the hostel, get some lunch, get our beach bag ready and head down to the beach for a nice chilled afternoon. So we've come down to the beach, ate a sun cream up. But yeah, it's so busy on the beach, it's actually a joke. The pebbles are uncomfy and hot. So yeah, but it's nice. So I'm watching Race Across the World. It's literally almost finished. So Hannah's already gone to the kitchen to start making her food, and then I'm just going to join her in like 2 minutes when it's finished. But yeah, so we just chilled on the beach for like a while and then came back, showered, and then we've just been chilling, and now we're gonna go and have our microwave meals and then go to bed probably. Out of 10 would recommend Lidl microwave meals. Good morning. Day 2 in Nice. Change of plans last night. A very quick change of plans. We're not doing the beds anymore like I said we were. So yeah, I'm not going to speak about what happened last night because it wasn't great and we're not going to get into it. So from that, Hannah is now in Monaco and I am here in Nice still. So I am going to head out on my own now to explore a bit more of Nice. Made it right to the edge point, which is good. The castle is like just over there. So I'm just gonna take in the view for a bit, then head up there and see what the view's like from up there. So I just made it to the... I was literally like gonna go to the castle and I looked over and it was like I Heart Nice, like hashtag I Heart Nice on the sign. So I was like, oh, okay, let's go there then. So I did, and this guy was like, can you take a photo of me? Or he was like, can I take your photo? And I was like, huh? And I was like, oh, of you? Yeah, I can. And then he did one for me, so that's really nice. I'm not sure what they're going to be like, but you know, it's memories, isn't it? It's what you got to do when you're solo travelling, when you've been left on your own for the day. I think it will be good though for us to have some time apart because we were bickering a lot more. We've still got 2 weeks to go, so I think we just needed this little break, to be honest. But yeah, so now I am definitely heading back round to the castle. Just have a little break halfway through because if you can't tell, I'm sweating. I decided to take the stairs. So yeah. So I popped to the market where we were yesterday. I got myself a fruit cup for €3 and a brookie for €150. So money well spent, I think. And I'm just sitting in the sun, but I might need to put some sun cream on or move to the shade because my shoulder does look red, but that's just what my bag's been carrying. But also that could have rubbed sun cream off, so I need to be a bit careful. But yeah, it's like 11:30 now, and this is what I'm doing. Nice, but very safely. Like, you could only have a small square of that for sure. But Hannah's talking to me now and she's told me that she'd like one, so I went and got her one. Because they're only $1.50 for the square, it's not bad. But yeah, and then I was like, oh, 12 o'clock. I hope you heard that bang, because at 12 o'clock they do it every day, apart from 2 days. One of them is the day of the Nice terrorist attack that they don't do it. But yeah, they do it because she was telling us this on the tour yesterday. Basically, there's 2 versions of the story. The story that I like is there was this couple and he had dementia, so he couldn't remember like when to meet her for lunch every day. So what they decided to do was set off a cannon every day so that he knew it was time for lunch, which I think is so sweet. And then they've just done it ever since because apparently like all the locals got used to it, and then all of a sudden they just stopped doing it, and everyone was a bit like, what? How do we know like when lunch is now and stuff? So they started doing it again, which I think is so nice. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I came across that marching band. I was like, what's that noise? So I went to go have a look, and I actually think it's like a disability band. But either way, they were like really good, so that was so sweet. So yeah, LOL. I am literally sweating now though, and Hannah's on her way back, so I went to get her the bookie. I'm going to head back, but I've just been popping in shops, see if they've got any key rings, and then head back to the hostel. We're going to have lunch, change, and then go to the beach. And I've decided I'm going to take my hostel pillow, because why not? Last night I didn't use my pillow. It was too hot, so I used my bedding as a pillow and like curl up in it. So I'm just thinking, well, if I'm not using my pillow, I may as well take that to lie on, because that'll be so much more comfier. So that's what I'm going to do. Makes everyone happy. So that shop was a success, although an expensive success. Like my keyrings have normally been like €1-2. That one €6. What the hell? However, it was very nice. It's like a little book that says Nice on it, and then when you open up the book there's loads of photos of Nice in it. So nice. However, minimum like card spend anyway was like €5, so it's fine because I didn't have any cash to use. Spent it all on brookies. But also in there was waterproof phone cases. Now I have 2 at home and I stupidly forgot them because I just thought I've got my GoPro, I don't need my phone, when in fact I actually do need my phone. So that was a bit stupid of me, because now we're actually at the beach. I'm like paranoid because I don't want to leave my bag. Like I know it will probably be fine, but my phone's in there, and like if I lose my phone I lose everything because my money's on there, my directions, like everything, and I'm just not willing to lose that. So it was €6, same as my keyring. I thought fuck it, I'm buying it. Because also like, yeah, I could buy a beach mat, but that's a one-time use. I'm gonna have to throw it away tomorrow. Whereas a waterproof phone case, I can then take forward with me. I can take it home. I can take it to the next beaches that I go on. You know, like, it's a valid purchase. So we are off to the beach, but I'm not taking my camera because paranoia. So I am taking my phone, so if I take any videos it'll be on there and they'll be inserted, but probably won't. So yeah. What? Your legs kicking at the back. We are back from the beach. I've showered because, ew, you know, and I've actually got some major tan lines, and they're not burnt, they're tan lines, so whoa, that's so good. But Hannah's hungry, I'm hungry, so we're going to get some food. Well, we're having our microwave meals. So we ate our dinner, but as nice as microwave meals are, their portions are too small. So Hannah's still starving, and I'm like gonna be hungry later probably. So I've just chucked on this top with my trousers because I thought I can't really go out in my Disney pyjama top, even though I'd love to. We're gonna head out to this dessert place, and I'm gonna get a crepe and she's gonna get some ice cream, so that should be nice. So that's the plan. I'll take you along, and yeah. Nice. Sweet treat, 10 out of 10. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The way it worked is it was €4 for either 10 mini pancakes or a crepe, and then it was €1 per like topping you added. Hannah added Nutella and fruit, and I added Nutella and white chocolate Kinder Bueno. Literally been craving that for days now. And I've had 2 crepes this trip, and they've both been in France. So back in the room, Hannah's about to shower, and yeah, that's it. Nice over and out really. Well, not really, but we are getting the train to Montpellier tomorrow, but it's not till like 4 PM, so we've got the whole morning in Nice, which is nice, but obviously it's gonna be so hot and don't want to be like all sweaty when I'm having to travel, but it's bound to happen, isn't it? Which is fine. So yeah, that's that. So I'll probably film a few bits in the town tomorrow, but other than that it will be travel day to Montpellier.